Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are completely redefining what it actually means to be wealthy. If you've ever thought that building wealth was just about staring at spreadsheets and stressing over the stock market, well, prepare for a major shift in perspective. So think about this provocative question for a second. The material we're exploring today completely flips the traditional script on success. We are so used to measuring wealth by the numbers we see on a screen, right? But what if those numbers are actually just a lagging indicator? What if the real starting line for financial success is entirely invisible to the outside world? I absolutely love this concept. Being a mental millionaire means you're building a frequency of success from the inside long before a single dollar ever shows up in your bank account. Basically, your external world is really just a mirror reflecting your internal operating system. Let's start with part one, the wealth mindset shift, rethinking scarcity versus abundance. It's literally night and day when you look at the paralyzing fear of a scarcity mentality versus the expansive, unstoppable power of an abundance mindset. Scarcity locks you into this constant state of anxiety. You're always believing that money is a finite pie. But an abundance mindset, that is the core belief that the world is just overflowing with opportunity, and your focus naturally shifts toward how much actual value you can create for other people. Because you see, money isn't just physical cash. It's the natural result of a mindset that prioritizes value over just chasing a paycheck. Think of money simply as an amplifier. If you're a good person with a solid vision, money amplifies that goodness. It's just magnifying whatever internal belief system is already running the show. Moving on to part two, rewriting financial identity and unlearning those childhood scripts. Be totally honest with yourself here. Did you grow up hearing stuff like, money doesn't buy happiness? Are the childhood scripts you inherited about money based on absolute, undeniable truth? Or are they really just inherited fears designed to sabotage your potential? So many of us grew up in environments that subconsciously linked money with greed or selfishness or stress. But these aren't universal truths. They're just programmed limitations we downloaded when we were way too young to know any better. And all of that builds what we call your financial identity. Listen, if you secretly believe deep down that you don't deserve wealth, your subconscious mind will literally sabotage opportunities that come your way just to keep you aligned with that limited identity. It's wild, but you simply cannot sustainably out-earn your own internal self-image. If you view yourself as fundamentally poor, you'll find ways to reject wealth, even if it lands right in your lap. So how on earth do we actually fix this? Well, it starts with actively rewiring that programming. By repeating daily affirmations like this one, we can actively dismantle those old restrictive scripts and install a brand new mental operating system. You have to convince your own subconscious that you are a safe, capable harbor for wealth. You have to genuinely feel worthy of abundance. All right, part three, the power of daily discipline, action over luck. Now this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the ultimate behavioral shift, stepping away from endlessly doom scrolling and stepping into the empowering role of a creator. An impoverished mind spends hours watching other people live their lives on social media. A mentally wealthy mind, it builds, it creates, and it serves. You've got to ask yourself daily, am I acting as a laboratory of creation, or am I just a warehouse for consumption? Because look, wealth is absolutely not some lucky lightning strike. It's built through relentless, everyday discipline. It starts with setting just 3 goals, executing them fast to build momentum rather than waiting around for perfection, and then ruthlessly cutting out any wasted hours. Momentum is basically magic. It breaks mental stagnation and forces you right into the flow of opportunity. You know, mental millionaires are usually just completely ordinary people who happen to commit to extraordinary systems. They leverage deep focus in a world that is completely distracted by notifications. Things like reading daily, tracking where every single dollar goes, and using deep work techniques are non-negotiable for them. True wealth is forged in those quiet blocks of uninterrupted time. And remember, we all get exactly 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. The secret isn't managing your time. It's fiercely managing your mental and physical energy. The wealthy don't necessarily work more hours than anyone else. They just make sure they're working when their cognitive energy is at its absolute peak. They treat their focus as their most valuable asset. Which brings us to part 4, designing your environment, decluttering the mind and space. You've probably heard this before, but you really are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Which means if you surround yourself with complainers, you're inevitably going to be pulled down no matter how amazing your ideas are. If your circle constantly talks about problems rather than opportunities, your mind will naturally shrink to fit that exact same space. You must actively seek out people who talk about growth, investments, and solutions. So, if we want to attract wealth, we have to proactively engineer our surroundings. Taking steps to ruthlessly eliminate the mental chaos that blocks opportunity is crucial. It's all about minimizing the noise. If your mind is constantly cluttered with drama, endless news cycles, and just general disorganization, there simply isn't any room left for the creative insights that actually generate true wealth. I absolutely love this analogy from the text. Think of wealth like a highly refined guest. It absolutely refuses to enter a messy, disorganized house. Money is a highly organized energy. If you treat it carelessly, or if your life is just a constant series of reactive emergencies, that guest is going to turn right around and walk right out the door. And finally, part 5, emotional intelligence and wealth. The true master. Because at the end of the day, true wealth is not just measured by dollars and cents. It's actually measured by your ability to remain remarkably calm and objective when everyone else is panicking. Markets crash, businesses face unexpected hurdles, and honestly, sudden successes can be just as disorienting as failures. High emotional intelligence is your compass when the wind is howling around you. And a huge part of that is learning to make pain your ally, not your enemy. Instead of running from failure, mentally wealthy people recognize pain as an incredibly honest teacher. It trains their spiritual and emotional resilience. You can use pain as a knife to cut away your weaknesses, or you can just let it cut you down. Every failure is really just a masterclass in what not to do next time. When you start embracing these high EQ traits, you basically stop being a victim of your own stray thoughts. You become the active director of your mental energy. You learn to avoid herd mentality. Just because everyone else is panicking or buying doesn't mean you should. You become the CEO of your mind, delegating what to care about, and you fully embrace the boring, deliberate repetition required to achieve real mastery. So as we wrap up this explainer today, the ultimate goal to keep in mind is this. Financial success is merely a beautiful side effect of achieving a profound state of inner peace and self-mastery. True wealth is possessing yourself first. If you can command your attention, regulate your emotions, and maintain a vision of total abundance, the external results are virtually inevitable. I really want to leave you with this one final provocative thought. The mental foundation is now yours to command. You know that wealth starts from within, shaped by your identity, your daily habits, and your emotional intelligence. So with this brand new operating system installed, what extraordinary reality are you going to build next?